If you go to Vegas, there's a lot of gambling involved.
Yeah.
But it's not big here yet, because it's haram.
No gambling.
No gambling. Say no to gambling, guys.
Today, we're back in the same series with interviewing people from Brothers Boxing Academy. And today here we have a special guest. He's also my promoter. So could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Hamzah Farouk. I'm boxing promoter for Brothers Boxing Promotion and also a gym owner for Brothers Boxing Academy. Ex-professional fighter also.
You should check out his knockout reels. Firstly, I would like to thank you for taking your time to be here, and also I'm really happy to be part of the promotion. My questions to you is, why did you change from professional boxing into promotion?
Thanks for having me, bro. First and foremost, I'm very happy to be on your channel. Thank you. But of course, for me, I used to be a professional fighter, and I realized all the hardships that you go as a professional boxer, And I think from my experience, making contacts here and there, and traveling, training overseas here and there, and seeing how promotions work and all this, I think maybe I can help the professional boxers like yourself and all the other guys that come after, right? To help them to uplift the sport for them, so that they can have a better position, better opportunities in professional boxing. When you have a boxing dream, achieve something, but it's so difficult to achieve it. And I think I can try my best to help you guys achieve your dreams in a way. I do it day by day, event by event, bro. We see how it goes and all this. I wouldn't call myself a boxing promoter, to be honest, if you are not introduce myself as one. But to be honest, we all work together to uplift the sport at the end of the day. And that's what's most important now, for us to stick together, work together, and uplift the professional boxing scene so that it becomes bigger, more people watch, more people join the gyms. There's more business flowing through. We can uplift the sport and get better opposition and opportunities for the professional boxers to help them achieve their dreams.
I know you have done a couple of events. I'm not sure of how many, but what are the challenges you face as a promoter, and what do you think that can be done better?
To be honest with you, we're not short of talent, but we are definitely short on funding. Because at the end of the day, professional boxing is a business. People fail to understand that. Because you say you want to fight somebody in the top 50 world ranking, for example. I got to spend a lot of money to offer this guy to come to Singapore to fight on our show. I got to pay for his flight, I got to pay for his hotels, I got to pay for his manager's flights and his manager's hotels, And obviously, these shows run on ticket sales and sponsorships. But the issue is obviously funding. We need a lot of funds to run these shows, to make the events happen. I see a lot of comments online like, oh, why don't you fight somebody like this? Why these opponents and all that? But people don't understand. If you're bringing someone from overseas and they demand some kind of money to be paid, I can't get someone in the top 50 to come and fight you for 6 rounds or 4 rounds. It's going to cost a lot of money, unless you're fighting for a title and stuff like that, and then there's attention, there's sponsorships coming through, and then you can get you better opposition. But other than that, I think it's very difficult to get sponsorship, and that's the biggest challenge I faced for all my events so far, funding.
I think I've been to 2 events. One,
you were in the ring,
yeah. The other one. To me, I feel like you're doing a really good job helping people like me and other fighters to showcase our talent and also get better in the scene. There are lots of people telling professional boxing is a scam. We pick our fighters. We choose our fights. Amateur boxing is better than pro boxing. Pro boxing is a business, a scam. What is your take on this?
Amateur boxing, you only fight 3 rounds. There's a fixed number of rounds you fight. Professional boxing is based on a ranking system. You see, let's say you are number 1,000 in the world right now. I can't put you against someone who is number 10 in the world. But that can happen in the amateurs, because there's no business involved. You see, there's no money involved.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference. And people say like, oh, professional boxing is a scam and all this. I think that's a very bad take on professional boxing because at the end of the day, we are in Singapore, and Singapore is a very small place.
Yeah, true.
You know, and to attract, like say, big names to come to challenge you guys and all this, it's difficult. I'm funding the events using my own money or using like sponsorships or based on ticket sales. You know, and some events, let's say there's no ticket sales. You know, I'm at a loss. You know, how can I recuperate and get better opposition in the future? This is why professional boxing, or maybe sometimes the opponents are not up to standard because it's difficult to get opponents that are going to challenge you guys, that are not going to demand a crazy amount of money.
Yeah, true.
You know, and for these people to actually say, oh, professional boxing is a scam, you know, why the fighters fighting like easy opposition and all this. Oh, why don't you step forward and help us find sponsors then, you know?
Yeah, that's a good.
You know what I mean?
Whoever's like, you know, saying this, you gotta answer.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so but we are trying to make things happen. We're trying to uplift the boxing scene in general in terms of like corporate boxing, amateur boxing, and professional boxing. And when this scene gets bigger and hits the public, you know, it hits the general public, there'll be more business for you guys, including the person who says that professional boxing is a scam. You know what I mean? So instead of going like, oh, this is better than this is better than this, I think we all should just work together and try to uplift the scene together. So we all of us win. You know, I'm trying to do my best, trying to change the stigma, I'm trying to get better opposition into our country, to challenge the local boxers, to put on a good show for the audience. And of course, this is what they can expect at the next show. We're doing a combined corporate boxing and professional boxing. So corporate boxing is for anybody who just wants to step into the ring. Maybe they don't have the opportunity to fight the amateurs, neither do they want to be professional fighters. So they can become corporate boxers. Yeah?
Bro.
Can bro. Maybe they are, you know, of the...
I switch rules,
Shakur
bro.
will train you, don't worry. So this is the opportunity which they have. And like I said, it's just growing the scene.
Yeah.
You know, it's just growing the scene to make more business for everyone, to make the boxing scene very big, mainstream. Everybody wants to join boxing, everyone wants to become a part of it, you know, and then maybe we can get government support also in the future, who knows. But this is the effort that it has to start at the grassroots level, small level, where we have to grow it slowly, and it has to be a collective effort, you see. And of course, we're going to have you on our show lah. We're going to fight your second professional fight lah.
Yeah.
This time it's going to be a tougher opponent, so you guys better watch out for it. I'm already getting to work, bro, to look for your opponents.
From the last fight, there were sponsors who pulled out. There were like last-minute replacement. How do you like deal with the struggle?
Just to rewind back, I share the story a bit lah.
Okay.
You know, so what happened was I made a mistake lah. People like come, I approach businesses and stuff to help sponsor the event, right? And then they tell me, oh, okay, we'll sponsor the event and stuff like that. But towards the event, they changed their mind, which is not their fault. You know, I totally understand that. You know, and then they say, oh, you know, this is not a good time for us and everything. I'm cool with that. But obviously, for me, my mistake was putting all my eggs in one basket lah. You know, having the, oh, okay, I already have all these sponsorships lah. You know, so now I just plan my event. And then when they pull out, I had to really come up with a plan B lah, you know, to find like smaller sponsorships to sponsor the individual fighters, the individual fights, and I'm grateful and alhamdulillah, some individuals come forward and say they will help me out. As for the fighters, based on my experience, you know, when they pull out and stuff, I got really scramble to find replacement opponents, especially for the last week pull-outs. That was very difficult. So I just contact their managers and stuff, and then obviously I have to see the videos. You know, I have to see how these opponents are like. They've heard like stories where the replacement opponent come and knock the home boxer out. For example, you know, this can happen as well. You know, because maybe some managers pull out surprises. So for me, I have to work based on trust. All these other international managers and promoters and stuff, and they help me out as well. So actually, it's a lot of trust, building relationship, building trust with all the managers, so that we can have a good working relationship with them, and they also understand. You know, when things last minute pull out and stuff like that, you know, we can get they can help me find a replacement opponent. So that's how it works, basically.
Yeah, I remember like one of the events that you did, your last pro fight in the event. I remember you telling me that you fund yourself.
The one that I promoted myself.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the biggest struggle is juggling training and managing the business, my gym, and obviously managing the promotion and doing my personal training, coaching, training myself, preparing for the fight, preparing for the event, organizing the event,
So you gotta
organizing
do
my
like,
gym.
the event and train at the same time.
Yeah.
That's
It's quite intense. I know.
Still need to train.
That's why I only did it once.
I can understand.
I retire after that. No lah, but the thing was like, I think I was just sharing with Cash earlier lah. You know, if I was a full-time boxer, I don't have to manage my gym. I still wouldn't be retired. I still would be fighting. But the problem was, it started to get difficult to juggle training, fighting, and managing my gym, managing the promotions and stuff like that. Something had to give lah. So at that point in time, I felt that I fought 15 professional fights. I had lost 2 years during COVID lah. I couldn't fight during COVID time. I had 5 years of fighting experience and stuff like that. I achieved the WBC Asia title on my last fight. I told myself, I think it's time I hang them up lah, and I just do something else to help the next generation of fighters and all. So that's why I decided to retire after organizing my last professional fight lah.
So in the future pro fights, will we have like amateur fights as well, or just like pro fights?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm trying to organize something. Actually, I tried the last one, bro, for the last fight, but because it was too close to the Singapore Boxing Cup, I think.
Yeah.
So it was quite difficult to get fighters on board, number one. Number two, of course, it's a higher sanctioning fees. Because now I got to pay two sides, amateur and professional.
Oh, yeah,
so there's a higher sanctioning fees. So I got to find the balance on how to get good funding to organize for both events at the same time. But for corporate boxing, I think it's a better trade-off financially.
Yeah,
it's a better trade-off financially because I think they can generate. No offense to anyone, they can generate more fans. For corporate boxing stuff.
I gotta do more media, bro. I gotta do more work.
Gotta do more work. I think that's one thing they don't understand. Professional fighters and all this, because everything is based on ticket sales. It's not like you're amateur boxer, you can fight in international tournament. Nobody watch you, also you still fight.
Yeah, I mean. No offense to anyone fighting amateur. They're still putting themselves out there.
Of course.
But then I feel like the professional boxing, like you really have to like.
Of course.
Put yourself out there. I always believe in saying that if there's no opportunity, you gotta like create your own. So
exactly.
like make your own opportunity. And yeah, I still struggle making videos, but I do my best to get better.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. I don't mean any offense to amateur boxing, because I know it's difficult. It's just as difficult as professional boxing. It's just a different set of challenge. You know what I mean? It's not like you're a good amateur boxer, but you cannot make it in the professional. If you're a good professional, you must be a good amateur. It doesn't work that way. It's just two different things altogether, and both are equally just as difficult.
I feel like the amateur boxing scene in Singapore is growing, and the team and coaches are doing a really good job. Yeah, they do not get paid, but they're doing their best, and I do not like discriminate or look down on anyone. In fact, I just support everybody, even if I know them or I don't, because like I came from that. And it was really hard for me. In the past, I always wanted to be a world amateur champion compared to a professional boxing champion. So like I will always have respect no matter whatever sport, because end of the day, the word is boxing. It's not separated.
Exactly.
It's a word on its own. But okay, I realized that you do personal training too. What can I expect from the personal training sessions, and what are the rates?
What I like to work on is basically just the basic fundamentals. For me, that's the most important part of boxing, which a lot of people neglect of training. They just want to train speed or power, especially for the gym goers. They feel good punching the bag hard and stuff like that, but they forgot their basics. So when they go into the ring and spar, they get punched a lot, and then they ask me why. So why? Because you neglect the basics,
True.
Neglect your footwork, neglect your balance, everything. So this is one thing which I would like to work on with all my members that sign personal training with me, you see. And I work on a step-by-step syllabus usually. So you can expect things to be really dumbed down when you train with me lah. And you must forget whatever you learn you must relearn everything. That's what I do with all my personal training clients usually.
I do come here to join their sparring and training. They treat me well and nice. It's good to have good people around to grow together and bring the boxing community up. And I hope that whoever watches this video, like, you can share it around and also follow them on their social media, whatever platforms. They have a YouTube channel too where they put all our fights. You can follow them, and also do come down to support my future fights, their future events, and also don't be afraid to reach out to us, train, and also take part in whatever future competitions. Eventually have more champions from different walks of life, and we'll make it to a bigger stage. And I believe in my promoter, my trainer, and my friends, and also the camera guy. Shout out to Mr. Cash.
Guy behind the camera.
Yeah, man behind the camera doing a good job. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.